How's that gonna work? Salute when I do something.
Sam's gonna be a grandpa.
Go give me a beer.
You want to do public works since Tim's not here? Or you want
Sure.
Somebody else do it?
No, I'll do it, I can read.
I don't know. Tim walks in late sometimes.
Here's the.
He's gonna be asking a question.
Yeah.
Good evening and welcome to the Manteno Village Board meeting for Monday, May 16th, 2022. I'd like to call the meeting to order, and if we could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Boyce, Martin,
Yes.
Dole,
Here.
Crockett, Geske,
Here.
Phillips.
We have a quorum. Tonight, as always, we begin with the approval of the minutes. In your packet, we have the minutes from the May 2nd, 2022 board meeting. Hopefully everyone has had the opportunity to review them. Are there any changes, additions, deletions, corrections? Seeing none, I would accept the motion to waive the reading of the minutes and approve them as presented by the clerk.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Phillips, second by
I'll
Dole.
second.
Roll call.
Phillips,
Yes.
Dole,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Crockett,
Abstain.
Geske.
Yes.
Motion carries. Public participation, have anyone here?
No one this evening, Mayor.
Okay. Village President's Report, a couple items on the agenda tonight. Just a reminder to anybody that might be watching that our golf cart registration is underway, and the golf carts are supposed to be registered by June 1. This year there's a fee that changes after June 1st. It goes from a $25 fee to a $50 fee. The purpose of that is not to generate revenue. It's to encourage everybody to get their golf cart registered in a timely fashion. After June 1st, it will double, and you'll still have to get it. Plus, you have the possibility of receiving a ticket from the police department, which again we are not encouraging and don't want to do. But the whole idea of the enforcement and the changing of the fee is to get people to register. We had several last year that just didn't see fit to get it done, and we needed to get a little more enforcement involved this year. So I think the police even last weekend were out. People at parks and seeing carts that had not registered yet, and just giving them some friendly reminders to get that done. So keep in mind that if it's not done by June 1st, it will double in price. The other items is we have entered into a couple agreements with a couple local park districts, with the Kankakee Valley Park District and the Bourbonnais Township Park District. Kankakee Valley to give our Manteno residents a pass program to be able to go to Splash Valley when that opens up, and the Bourbonnais Township Park District to be able to let our Manteno residents take advantage of their dog park program at the same fee cost as Bourbonnais residents. So, Chris, you want to explain a little bit about those two programs?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. As explained, we've got a couple of partnerships that we're working with. That first one was Splash Valley. They have resident and non-resident rates. They reached out to us and asked if we would be interested in partnering with them to hopefully encourage people to use Splash Valley, including residents up here in Manteno. So we have an application, one page, fairly simple. It's available at Village Hall, or you can download it from our website. Fill that out, turn it back into us. We'll send it over to the Kankakee Valley Park District, and then you can go in and receive the resident rates as opposed to having to pay the non-resident rates. So Again, that's available to anybody who's a resident of the village of Manteno, not necessarily just a Manteno address. You have to be within the village limits, so.
And the village is actually paying the difference. We're going to be billed by the Park District at the end of the year or quarterly or whatever, and we are actually paying the difference, so our residents get to pay the same as people that live in those park districts.
Correct, and all we're doing is facilitating that process. We're not the ones that will be issuing the passes. We don't have those. You still will have to get those from the Kankakee Valley Park District, but you do need to come in and fill out that application first if you want to get the non-resident rate. So, the other one is with the Bourbonnais Park District. They have a fairly large, nice dog park over at Willow Haven Nature Center. The fee is typically $60 for non-residents. Resident fee is $50 for the year, and we will make up that $10 difference. Again, the same thing. We've got a simple application that you fill out. In this case, you'll actually fill that out and go ahead and buy your membership from the Bourbonnais Park Township Park District. Bring us in a copy of your receipt, and then we'll refund you the $10 difference within about 30 days of turning that in. So with Splash Valley, you have to turn it into us first. With the dog park, you go ahead and get your membership and then come in and fill out the application, turn in a copy of your receipt, and we'll refund you the difference. So. Same thing again, we're not issuing the memberships. You have to go to the park district to get those. Again, this is just a rebate program for the dog park. So.
Anybody have any questions, they can call the village hall, or you have information on the website also?
Yeah, the numbers that you would need to call for each of the park districts is on those applications, so you can check those out or go to their websites if you want more information. So.
Okay. All I have, village administrator's report. Mr. Locke, you have anything else?
I have nothing additional.
Okay. Committee reports, Public Works and Utilities. Mr. Boyce is not here tonight. He does have a couple items on his agenda. Mr. Martin, did you want to go ahead and take those?
Okay, bear with me here. The Resolution 22-01, a resolution for improvement under the Illinois Highway Code, and that is a resolution that facilitates the required IDOT documents to engineer the annual MFT road resurfacing program. Each year, the village and our engineer evaluate all village roads and determines which roads need the most attention and which ones would benefit the village overall by repairing them. Chris, you got anything?
No, if Jim wants to.
Yeah, this is just the start of our MFT program. We had a couple other projects that kicked off a little earlier, so this is behind a little bit, and we've got, I think, about 8 locations in town that we're going to be doing everything from curb replacement to large patches and a couple spots where we're doing a complete mill and overlay of a street. So, each year we try to evaluate the roads, kind of see how much money we have coming in from that MFT program, and then go ahead and make our list up and get that done accordingly.
Perfect. And then the other one that Tim had on his Public Works and Utilities was a consideration and motion to award the bid for the Manteno Public Works Bid Package 2 to Vissering Construction out of Streator, Illinois, for a cost of $3,677,000. And that is, on May 6th, we had an opening for Phase 2 interior build-out of the new Public Works facility. And we received 5 bids, and Vissering was the lowest qualified bidder. Jim?
Yep, this was based on the recommendation from Carlisle Architect. He kind of did a review of the companies and their bids, and this was the suggestion that we went with.
There you go. The next Public Works Committee is Tuesday on the 5/24/22 at 7 o'clock, right here.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. And then Properties and Recreation, you've got that also.
Yeah, this is no old or new business, and we have one motion, a motion to approve the lease agreement between the Village of Manteno Township, Manteno and Manteno Township, and Manteno Wild Football and Cheer. This is interesting because with the addition of new concession and stand and bathroom facility, Manteno football program has decided to move from its current field to Legacy Park. As with other youth sports programs that use our parks, the village drafts a lease agreement with the program to ensure a written understanding of which each entity is responsible for. This lease also includes the Manteno Township, since they are co-owners of the park. And from what I understand, one of the reasons we do this is because the people who are involved with these programs move on. And we have new people in, so we want to have something on paper that is agreed upon that we're going to do, even if you have new board members on either level.
Right, yeah, that's correct. I mean, it's the same thing that we've done with the soccer program and with the baseball program, because the village is always involved, or the village or the township. But you're right, as people have their children go through the program, several people are involved for a period of 3 to 4 or 5 years, however long their kids are in the program, and then they're out of it. New groups come in to take over, and they don't know how everything operates. So this kind of puts everything in paper and lets everybody know involved in the program is what's the village and the township are responsible for, what the program is responsible for.
Perfect. And we have the last thing I have is a Parks and Recreation meeting is a Wednesday, this Wednesday, at 6:30 at Legacy.
Correct.
And then 7 o'clock right here. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Public Safety and Health, Mrs. Dole.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have any action items on the agenda tonight. My next public safety meeting will be in June 8th at 7 a.m. here in the Village Boardroom. Just got a couple of safety tips. If you've ever been interested in what the police do, you can now get an inside look at our police department. The Manteno Police are hosting their first Citizens Police Academy open to all village residents. The classes will be held every Wednesday night from June 8th to July 23rd from 6 to 8:30 at the Community Center. Attendees must register by May 25th. So if you want to learn more about the police and why and how and what they do, you can visit the department section of the Manteno Village website for more information and to register. Sounds interesting. Sounds good. So, and now through Memorial Day weekend, the Manteno Police Department is stepping up their enforcement to remind motorists to click it or ticket. Memorial Day weekend marks the unofficial start of summer, a popular time for traveling to visit family and friends. Whether you are traveling down the block or across the country, make sure you buckle up every time. While Illinois currently has a 94.6 seatbelt use compliance rate, unbelted occupants still account for more than half of those killed in motor vehicle crashes. The simple click of a seatbelt could save thousands of lives each year. The Click It or Ticket campaign is administered by the Illinois Department of Transportation with federal highway safety funds. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Dole. Planning and Zoning, Mr. Crockett.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a couple items on the agenda this evening. The first one is Ordinance 22-04, which is an ordinance granting a special use permit to Jeffrey Coster, petitioner, and Basham, Inc., owner for a proposed automotive repair and equipment sales store located at 370 South Locust Street. On May 10th, a public hearing was held by the Planning Commission to consider the special use request. There were no comments from the public, and the Planning Commission is recommending approval of the requested use. Anybody have any comments on that?
You're done.
Moving on to Ordinance 22-05, which is an ordinance granting a variance from Title 8 Building Regulations, Chapter 1 Residential Garages, Article 8-19-19E2, maximum size of garages for the property known as 1734 Condor Drive. This request was also heard at the Planning Commission meeting held on May 10th. Once again, there was no public comment, and the Planning Commission is also recommending approval of this variance request, as it will not have any impact on the neighboring homes. You got any comments on that? Okay. Our next Planning and Zoning Committee meeting is scheduled for May 24th at 7 a.m. in the Village Boardroom, and then the next Planning Commission meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, June 14th, 6 p.m. here in the Village Boardroom. And that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Crockett. Finance, Mr. Geske.
Thank you, Mayor. The only item I have is the payment of bills, the amount of $451,395.82. There have been no bills authorized or paid in mid-board cycle. And my next Finance Committee meeting is scheduled for June 8th. However, I'll be asking that we reschedule that to a different date, and we'll get that posted.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Geske. General Government, Mr. Phillips, you have anything tonight?
I have nothing on the agenda, Mayor.
All right. So tonight, the items that we'll be voting on the consent agenda are as follows. Under old business, we have nothing. Under new business, we have Resolution 2201, a resolution for improvement under the Illinois Highway Code. Item number 2 is Ordinance 2204, an ordinance granting special use permit to Jeffrey Koster with a petitioner and Basham Inc. owner for a proposed automotive repair and equipment sales store at 370 South Locust Street. Item number 3 is Ordinance 2205, an ordinance granting a variance from Title 8 Building Regulations, Chapter 1, Residential Garages, Article 8-19-19-E2, maximum size of garages for the property known as 1734 Condor Drive. Motion to approve the lease agreement between the Village of Manteno and Manteno Township and the Manteno Wildcats football and cheer program. And warning of the bids, a motion to award a bid for the Manteno Public Works bid package number 2 to Vissering Construction of Streeter, Illinois, for a cost of $3,677,000. Finally, a motion to approve the payment of the bills in the amount of $451,395.82. Are there any items on the consent agenda that need to be voted on individually? Seeing none, I would accept the motion to take a single roll call vote on the question of passage of the agenda items as read.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Crockett, second by Martin. Roll call.
Crockett?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Dole?
Yes.
Geske?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
Motion carries. Accept the motion to approve by omnibus vote the ordinances, resolutions, motions, and orders contained in the consent agenda as read.
So moved.
Motion by Geske.
Second.
By Dole. Roll call.
Geske?
Yes.
Dole?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Crockett?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
Motion carries. Comments tonight, Mr. Martin, you got anything you want to talk about?
No.
Mrs. Dole?
Oh, the cleanup day is Saturday, right, from 10 to 12?
Right.
So,
Yeah, it's a rescheduled cleanup
right.
day.
Meet over here at the Legion Park, as usual, and they'll give you a jacket to, a bright jacket to wear, or a bright vest to wear, and bring your little grabber thing that helps pick up the stuff. I mean, yeah, no, you can buy those at Harbor Freight for like $3.
Yeah.
And they'll give you a big orange bag. So,
Yeah, we hope we can have as many people as possible, because there's plenty of things to pick up after the winter time, and this has been a rescheduled event because of the weather the last, 2 or 3 weeks ago when we were supposed to have it. So it's 10 o'clock, right, at the Legion Park.
10 to 12, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Dole. Mr. Crockett?
No comments, Mayor.
Mr. Geske?
I have nothing.
Mr. Phillips? The only item I have is that, we've been talking about, and reminding people for the last several meetings about the construction that's going to be taking place this summer, and we're well into it. As anybody that's been down Main Street for the last couple of weeks can see that Main Street is underway and well under demolition, and eventually will, turn into reconstruction. We've got, construction at Legacy Park that's continuing and will be going on for the good part of the summer. After tonight's bid and a couple other bids that we've awarded, there's going to be a lot of construction up north of Legacy Park on the east side of the road for the new Public Works facility, which is, going to be a really nice, project when it's all done, and a building that's going to, take the Public Works Department and satisfy their needs for the next 50 years, hopefully. After we have closed on the bank building for the purchase of the police department. As part of that agreement, the bank continues to operate there until the end of July, and then the village will take possession of that building and start renovations in order to make it facilitate the police department. So that'll be ongoing over the course of the whole fall, and really won't affect anybody's traffic or anything, because it'll all be off the roadway and shouldn't bother anybody. But that's another project that'll be taking place this fall, and another construction project that'll be going on. So just a lot of things happening. This is the time of year for construction, so please be patient. We understand that it's sometimes a dirty, dusty process, but what we end up with at the end is always a pretty nice project, and it makes the village look really good and attractive, not only for our residents, but also to anybody that comes here to visit. So thank you for all your patience. So, with that, I have nothing further, except the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Geske,
Second.
second by Dole, roll call.
Geske?
Yes.
Dole?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Crockett?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you very much for coming and for watching.